So this is game 2 of the playoffs. The first game for this team I already posted, and we lost in a shootout. The way the series works is it's 3 games. They're actually 3 full-length games. First team to win 2 wins the series. So we lost the first one. So this one we have to win it. The first game was a pretty good game overall from my team, and I thought I played pretty good as well. And this one is against the same team again, obviously, so it's going to be a battle. And I'm also like heavily dealing illness during the beginning of these playoffs, and like called out for against some of my teams where I was basically saying like I can't play, I have no energy, I can't do multiple games a night, and I probably shouldn't even do one game a night. But this team basically said, no, you're playing for us no matter what, so deal with it. And my other team was like more okay with it, and they're like, yeah, we'll get someone, like, don't worry about it. This I'm battling a bit here, so I'm struggling. I have like 0 energy and going through it, so we'll see how this one ends up. These are the Cortech like base layers, and the idea of them is to help with like growing poles and your hips and everything. And they have a tightened piece. You can see how this material doesn't really stretch a lot, and it's really tight and it really holds your hip and like legs in place. This stuff, I've used it for years under different branding. They used to be under Under Armour, and has saved me multiple times in games, especially towards the end of this in playoffs, where I pulled my groin and I wouldn't have been able to play without these things. So Cortech sent me a pair of these I'll do a full review on them and everything, but if you're interested in Cortech stuff, and they really help with the groin and like stopping injuries from getting worse and preventing them. They have a less tight version as well. This is a 1.0, the other ones are a 3.0. There's a link to Cortech in the description. If you use my coupon code, you get a discount, as well as it supports the channel. So you get protective base layer stuff that I wear all the time and honestly really need to keep my groin intact, and it also supports the channel as well, so check those out. Otherwise, if you want to support the channel without buying anything, check out links in the description to Patreon, buy me a coffee. Everything through there comes again back into the channel so I can make more content and doing real reviews.
Y'all
ready for this?
Ball, ball, ball.
Getting a shutout in the playoffs is always a great feeling. I have to admit, I wasn't the reason for it in this game. My team played like unreal. They limited chances so much against this team for this game. Like they really wanted it, and they really did really well. There was like one point where one of my teammates has a really bad line change, and that was basically it. Everything else, they were like locked down and played really, really good. They're never a really high scoring offensive team, so all the games are going to be pretty close. That's kind of evidence here. Getting a shutout in like beer league playoffs is very impressive from like a team standpoint, because it's not just on the goalie. And like I said, I didn't do anything. It was literally the whole team did everything on here and shut everything down and played very well. So they definitely deserved this win, and it was a nice thing to be able to bring it to like the next game. My team here finished second last overall, so the fact that like they put up like they're actually fighting for the playoffs was really great. Not from like an effort standpoint, because they always put the effort in, but the fact that they're like actually winning games and stuff was really nice. It like really didn't want to be a 2 and out on here. So this was a great feeling to get this one. And I obviously can't talk about any goals because nothing went in. But again, it was all my team, and I was kind of just a passenger in this one. And that honestly is kind of a hint at what comes for this team, how well they're playing so far.
You're watching HockeyReviews.ca.